All right, Algebra 1, welcome to Yak Math videos for your quiz review video for 4.12, 4.3. Today we are brought to you by the lovely Cliff Bar, and of course our favorite Chinatown here in Litchfield. Also Coffee Espresso here in Litchfield. All right, anyway, folks, here are the answers for your review number 2. Guys, slope is the difference of y over the difference of x. So just take the bigger y minus the smaller y all over whatever went with the bigger y. So if I pick 11 as the bigger y, I have to start with 2 minus a negative 3. All right, just going to go through these really quick. Again, all the work is shown. Take your time. This does have to be sort of a quick video. I have to go to a class of my own tonight. Here's the answer for 5. When you divide by 0, that is undefined. If you get confused, type in your calc. If you get an error, that is undefined, UND. All right, a negative in the denominator, just put it on the outside like that. Okay. And then 8 is actually 0. Moving on, folks. If I give you the slope and the y-intercept, simply put it in y equals mx plus b form, I literally give you the answer. Y equals negative 3/5 x plus 17 because it's positive 17. There's the answer for 10. It's minus 7 because it is a minus 7. Don't write plus and negative. That just looks weird. And there's 12. Those are easy, easy questions. Then it gets a little bit more challenging before it gets easier again for this quiz. Here I give you the slope, so you're going to write it as y equals negative 2x plus b. All right? If it goes through negative 3, 7, that means when x is negative 3, y 7, substitute those values in, and then find your y-intercept. It's a positive 1, so we had plus b here, you're going to put plus 1. There's the answer for 14. Y equals 1/2 x plus b. Plug this in for y. Plug negative 4 in for x. Distribute, or just multiply. Add 2 to both sides. 1/2 x plus 7. 15 here, folks. Y equals negative 3x plus b. Y is 0. X is negative 2. Subtract 6 from both sides. Get your answer right there. And lastly, 16. Y equals negative 2x plus b. Plug 10 in for y, negative 6 in for x. Okay, y is negative 2/3 x plus 6. The hardest 2 questions on your quiz. Again, your quiz looks almost identical to this review. Write an equation of the line in y equals mx plus b form for the line which passes through the 2 given points. Folks, you need to find your slope m first. Bigger y minus a smaller y, all over 2 minus a negative 3. You get 2. So, y equals 2x plus b. Then pick a pair. I like 2, 11. Both are positive. Plug 11 in for y. Plug 2 in for x. Solve for b. There's your equation. Same thing here. Bigger y minus smaller y. All over 4 minus 0. You get 12 minus 4 is 3. Y equals 3x plus b. Technically, I give you the y-intercept here, folks. The y-intercept is when x equals 0. So you have it right away. You can just say, hey, that's my answer. Or you can solve it like this. So, I don't know, plug 10 in for negative 10 in for y, 0 in for x. You get the y-intercept of negative 10. Write an equation of the line in point-slope form, which I tell you what it is. You don't have to have it memorized. For the line with the given slope, which passes through the given point. It's y minus the y value I give you equals the slope times x minus the x value I give you. When you subtract a negative, it's really adding a positive. This is your final answer. Y minus the y value I give you equals the slope times x minus the x value I give you. To subtract a negative 5 is to add 5. All right, same thing here on 21. I think we get the points. There's 22. So maybe y minus a negative 11 is y plus 11 equals 8 times x minus 3. There's our answer for 23. Looking good. And finally, our answer there for 24. Y minus the y value equals the slope times x minus the x value. To subtract a negative is to add. Again, pause this whenever you need to. Take a look at this page here. Write each equation in y equals mx plus b form. So you're going to distribute the 1/2 to the x and the negative 6. You get 1/2 x minus 3, then do the opposite of negative 4. Add positive 4 to both sides to get your final answer. On 26, multiply x and negative 12 by negative 2/3, then subtract 7. Here, multiply x and negative 4 by negative 3, then subtract 2. And on this one, multiply x and 6 by 2, then add 1. Always do the opposites. And that's how you get your answer in y equals mx plus b, slope-intercept form. Write your equation in standard form. I tell you that standard form is ax plus by equals c. So all you gotta do first is move that x to the other side. If it was negative on the right, it's positive on the left. The two checks are, make sure x and y don't have a fraction attached. They don't. Make sure x is positive. The leading coefficient is positive. Check. We're good. Here, when you move a negative 1/2 x over to the other side, it does become positive, but it is a fraction. How I get rid of that 2 on the bottom is to multiply everything by 2. Distribute 2. 2 times 1/2 is 1. 2 times y is 2y. 2 times 4 is 8. On 31, move the 2x over. It's now a negative 2x. That's bad because it's negative. So I make it positive by multiplying everything by negative 1, just flipping the signs. That was positive y, now it's negative y. That was a negative 9, now it's positive 9. This is the hardest one you could be given, 32. Move this over, and it's got two things bad. First off, it's a fraction. Second off, it's negative here. So make it positive by multiplying everything by negative 1. Just give everything the opposite sign. Get rid of that 3 in the denominator by multiplying everything by 3. 3 times 2/3, that's 2x, minus 3y equals 3 times 14, 42. All right, we have the graphing part here. Folks, I give you the y-intercept. It's 5, so put a dot at 5 on the y-axis. The slope is negative 1 over 2. That means you go down 1 over 2. Put a dot there. 2 points, determine a line, straight line through it. On to the y-intercept is 1. That's why you put a dot right there. The slope is 3, which is 3 over 1, meaning you go up 3 over 1. Put another dot there. Straight line goes through those 2 points. Y-intercept here is a negative 4, so on the y-axis go south to negative 4. The slope is up 2 over 3. Put another dot there. And lastly, here I have a y-intercept of negative 2. You're going to go down 3 over 4. You always run to the right. 2 points determine a line. And your last 4 questions on this review. Cover-up method. Cover up the 3y, you have 2x equals 6, solve for x, you get x is 3, put a dot on 3 on the x-axis. Cover up 2x, you got negative 3y equals 6, y equals a negative 2 when you divide. Put a dot at negative 2 on the y-axis, 2 points to determine a line, draw a straight line through those 2. 4x equals 20, x is 5, 5y equals 20, y is 4. The y-intercept is 4, x-intercept is 5. Put a line straight through them. Here, cover up. That's the easiest equation ever. It's x equals 6. Put a dot at 6. Negative 2y equals 6, so y is a negative 3. Dot there, straight line through. 3x is 15, so x is 5. 5y is 15, so y is 3. That's your line through those 2 points. All right, folks, this is your quiz review video for your quiz on Thursday. Remember, I'm collecting this review tomorrow. This is Yak Math Videos signing out.